What's up, M12? Happy Sunday. My name is Caleb. I am the student pastor at our Bethlehem campus, and I know that I speak on behalf of all of our leaders and student pastors when we say that we miss you so much. I cannot believe that it has been 63 weeks since our last M12. And what? It hasn't been 63 weeks? It's been like 10? Honestly, there's nobody even here. I just talk to myself now. But in all seriousness, I believe that God has something for us in the next couple moments, and I'm excited to get to talk to y'all for the next few minutes. You see, it's no secret that our country is in the midst of one of the craziest times that we have ever seen in the history of our nation. With all this pandemic going on, people have lost their lives, people have lost their jobs, the economy is struggling, and there's so much uncertainty and fear about the future and where we even go from here. And what I notice is that in times like this, in times of crisis, that these are the moments when our faith is tested. You see, anybody can follow Jesus when everything is easy. Anybody can follow Jesus when everything that we want to happen is happening and everything is great, life is good. But in the moments when fear and uncertainty creep in, when we begin to lose control of our circumstances, when we don't know what tomorrow holds, that is when our faith is truly tested. And James, the brother of Jesus, actually talks about this, and he talks about what it means to truly have faith. And he phrases a question that I really want us to look at in James chapter 2, verse 14. This is what it says. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? See, that is such a huge question, and many of you have probably asked that about your life. Can my faith save me? And James actually goes on to answer that question in the next few verses. This is what he says in 15 through 17. Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Now, we want to be really clear here, because what the Bible is not saying is that you have to do good works to get into heaven. The Bible is incredibly clear that from the beginning, we were broken, sinful people. We were incapable of saving ourselves. We were incapable of becoming right before God. But because God loved us so much, he sent his only son, Jesus, to die on a cross for us. And all we have to do to be saved is put our faith in Jesus. It's a free gift that he offers us. See, faith alone is what saves us, but the faith that saves us is never alone. See, when we receive that free gift, when we choose to put our faith and our hope and our trust in Jesus, as a response to that, we do good works. And what James is saying is that you can't have one without the other. There is no faith without good works, and there is no good works without faith. As Pastor Kevin has said before, we don't do good works to get into heaven, but we do good works on the way to heaven. Martin Luther, a famous theologian, once said this about faith. He says this, we are saved by faith alone, but the faith that saves is never alone. So that may raise the question, well, what is faith? And sometimes I like to use the metaphor of a chair. Let's say I just come across an everyday chair, and I look at the chair and I say, I believe that that's a chair. I believe that somebody made that chair. I believe that that chair could support my weight if I sat down in it. But if I never actually sit down in the chair, have I really put my faith into action? Now, let me be clear. Some people tend to put way too much faith in chairs, and they end up paying the price for it. Ew. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that with our faith in Jesus. See, faith alone saves, but the faith that saves is never alone. And this is one of the reasons that I love being a part of 12 Stone. See, in the midst of this pandemic, there have been a lot of needs that have come up in our community, and we have stepped up and we have been so generous. We've given thousands and thousands of PPE equipment to hospitals. We've given so much food to local co-ops and feeding people who are hungry. You are such a generous church, 12 Stone. So in your life, where does your faith need to be put into action? Maybe for some of you, there's a sin in your life, and as an act of faith, you need to ask Jesus for forgiveness as a sign of saying, God, you have a better plan for my life than I could ever have on my own. Maybe for some of you, there's a conversation that you need to have with a friend to restore a relationship. Maybe there's a person in your life that you need to forgive, and as an act of faith, you go about that restoration and forgiveness process. Maybe for others of you, there's a person or a loved one in your life that has a need, and maybe you, as an act of faith, have the opportunity to be the literal hands and feet of Jesus to serve someone who's close to you. And so now it's time to go into your Zoom community groups. If you are not connected currently and you would like to get connected, all you have to do is send an email to your student pastor at students@12stone.com, and they'll get you plugged in and they'll find the place that you need to go. Love you, M12. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.